Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to our podcast. Welcome to this quiet place. Today, we talk about life, our daily life. We want you to relax, take a soft breath, breathe in gently, hold it. Now let it out. Let all the stress go away. If you are listening to this before sleep, just close your eyes, lie down comfortably, listen to my voice. Notice the slow rhythm of my words. Learning English can be very peaceful. Before we begin our daily story, please subscribe to our channel, click the like button right now, and join our calm family. Thank you so much for your love. Now, Tom, how does your day begin?
Hello, Sarah, and hello to everyone listening to us tonight. My life is simple, very simple, Sarah. Every single morning, I wake up early. I usually wake up at 6 o'clock. The world is very quiet at that time. The house is completely silent. I love the silence. I do not jump out of bed immediately. I stay in my warm bed. I wait for 5 minutes. I do not touch my phone, no social media, no screen, no stress. I just breathe. I think about my goals. I think about my day. After that, I get up. I get up slowly. I walk to the kitchen. The kitchen floor is cold, but it feels good. It wakes my body up. What about you, Sarah? Do you wake up early too?
Yes, Tom, I wake up early too. I love the morning sun. I wake up at 6:30. The room is dark when I open my eyes. The first thing I do is walk to the window. I open the window wide. I feel the air, the fresh morning air. It smells so clean. It feels nice on my face. It makes me happy to be alive. Then I go to the bathroom. I wash my face. I use cold water to feel fresh. I brush my teeth carefully. Next, I go straight to the kitchen. I make my breakfast. Breakfast is important, very important for me. It is my favorite meal. I cannot start my day without good food.
I agree with you, Sarah. Breakfast gives us energy, good energy for the whole day. For me, it is the same. My morning routine never changes. First, I make coffee, a hot cup of coffee, warm black coffee. I love the smell. The rich smell fills the kitchen. It makes me feel awake. Then I make some food. I make toast, 2 pieces of white toast. I cook 2 eggs. I sit by the window. I eat my breakfast very slowly. I look at the sky. I look at the green trees. I do not hurry. Hurrying is bad for the mind. It makes me feel stressed. I want peace. I want a calm morning.
A calm morning is a beautiful gift, Tom. It fixes your mood for the rest of the day. After my breakfast, I begin to prepare for my day. I look at the clock on the wall. It is 7:30. I need to leave my house at 8 o'clock, so I have 30 minutes. First, I go to my bedroom. I choose my clothes carefully. I like comfortable clothes. I chose a simple shirt. I chose clean pants. I put them on slowly. Then I look in the mirror. I brush my hair. I smile at myself. Smiling gives me positive energy. Next, I prepare my black bag. I put my laptop inside the bag. I put my notebook inside. I never forget my water bottle. Drinking water is very healthy. Finally, I take my keys from the small table near the door. I put on my shoes. I open the front door. I step outside into the world. The morning air feels a little bit cool now. I close the door. I lock it carefully. My journey to work begins. Tom, what do you do after your calm breakfast? How do you prepare to leave your house?
After my breakfast, Sarah, I also look at the clock. Time moves fast when you are relaxed. I go to my room to get ready. I like to wear simple clothes too. Usually, I wear a blue shirt and dark shoes. I check my pockets and make sure I have 3 things: my phone, my wallet, and my house keys. These 3 things are very important. If I forget my keys, I cannot get back inside my house later. That is a big problem. Next, I look at my small dog. I have a beautiful dog. His name is Max. I look at Max and I say, "Goodbye, Max. Be a good boy today." Max wags his tail. He looks at me with big, warm eyes. Then I take my heavy coat from the hook near the wall. I put it on because the morning can be windy. I open my door and step outside. I walk into the small garden in front of my house. I smell the green grass. I look at the beautiful flowers. I close the wooden gate. I walk to the street. I do not drive a car, Sarah. I do not like driving in the morning. Driving makes me feel nervous because of the heavy traffic. So I always walk to the bus stop. The bus stop is not far. It is only a 5-minute walk from my house. I walk very slowly on the sidewalk. I enjoy the walk.
Walking is wonderful exercise, Tom. It is good for the heart and the mind. For me, my journey is a little bit different. My office is far from my home. It is in the center of the big city, so I cannot walk there. I need to take the subway train. I walk down the street to the subway station. The station is always busy. There are many people there. Everyone is walking fast. Everyone is looking at their phones. No one is talking. It feels like a silent movie. I buy my train ticket from the machine. I walk down the stairs to the train platform. I wait for the train. Usually, the train arrives in 3 minutes. When the train arrives, the doors open with a loud sound. I step inside the train. It is usually very crowded. There are no free seats, so I have to stand up. I hold on to the metal bar tightly. The train starts to move very fast under the ground. I do not look at my phone, Tom. I do not like to look at screens on the train. Instead, I put my headphones in my ears. I listen to soft, peaceful music. The music helps me forget the crowd. It keeps my mind quiet and happy. The train ride takes 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, the train stops at my station. I get off the train. I walk up the stairs into the bright sunlight. My office building is just across the street. I walk into the building and I am ready to start my work. How is your bus ride, Tom? Is the bus crowded too?
My bus ride is usually very quiet, Sarah. I am lucky because I live in a small, peaceful neighborhood. When I arrive at the bus stop, I see 2 or 3 neighbors. We do not talk much. We just say, "Good morning," with a kind smile. The yellow bus arrives exactly at 8:10. The bus driver is a very friendly old man. His name is Mr. John. He always smiles and says, "Welcome aboard, Tom." I say, "Thank you, Mr. John." I scan my bus card on the small machine. The machine makes a happy beep sound. Then I walk to the back of the bus. There are always many empty seats on the bus.
I choose a seat next to the window. I love the window seat, Sarah. I sit down comfortably. I place my bag on my knees. The bus starts to move slowly down the street. I look outside the clean glass window. I watch the city wake up. I see children walking to school with their colorful backpacks. I see the baker opening his small bakery. The smell of fresh bread comes into the bus window. It smells amazing. I see the street cleaners cleaning the roads. I see old people walking their dogs in the park. The bus moves through the streets smoothly. It stops at a few red lights. I enjoy the scenery. I do not listen to music like you, Sarah. I just enjoy the natural sounds of the city. The bus ride takes 15 minutes. It is a very short and peaceful journey. The bus stops exactly in front of the big library where I work. I stand up, grab my bag, and say, "Thank you, Mr. John." He waves his hand. I step off the bus onto the clean sidewalk. I look up at the big library building. I smile because I love my job. I walk through the big glass doors, ready for a beautiful day of work.
Working in a big city office is very interesting, Tom. My office is on the 5th floor of a tall, modern building. I do not take the stairs because it is too high. I take the elevator. The elevator moves fast and quietly. When the doors open, I walk into my office room. The room is big and bright. There are many large windows. I can see the beautiful city from my desk. First, I walk to my desk. I put my black bag on the chair. I turn on my computer. While the computer is starting, I say hello to my coworkers. I say, "Good morning, everyone. I hope you have a great day." They smile and say good morning back to me. We are a good team. Next, I sit down on my comfortable office chair. I look at my notebook. I write a list of my tasks for today. Writing a list helps my brain stay organized and calm. My first task is always checking my emails. I open my email inbox. I read the messages from my manager and from our clients, and I write polite answers to them. This task takes about 1 hour. At 10 o'clock, we have a small meeting. We sit around a big table. We talk about our new projects. Everyone shares their ideas. I like sharing my ideas because it makes me feel confident. After the meeting, I go back to my desk. I focus on my main work. I write reports on my computer. I look at numbers and charts. Sometimes my eyes feel tired from the computer screen. When that happens, I close my eyes for 1 minute. I take a deep breath and look out the window at the blue sky. This small break helps my mind feel fresh again. Tom, tell us about your day at the library. What do you do there every day?
My work at the library is very quiet and beautiful, Sarah. I love being around books. Books have a wonderful, clean smell. When I walk into the library at 8:30, the building is completely empty. The public cannot enter until 9 o'clock, so I have 30 minutes of perfect silence. First, I go to my small office behind the main desk. I leave my coat and my bag there. Then I turn on the warm lights of the big reading room. The room looks so beautiful when the light touches the wooden tables and the long bookshelves. My first task of the day is organizing the books. Every evening, people return many books to the library. The books sit on a large metal cart near the front desk. I take the cart and I walk slowly through the long aisles. I put each book back into its correct place on the shelf. I look at the titles of the books.
I see books about history, science, travel, and cooking. I love looking at the colorful book covers. This task is like a gentle game for my brain. It is very peaceful. At 9 o'clock, the big glass doors open. The public starts to walk inside. Many different people come to our library, Sarah. I see young students from the university. They carry heavy backpacks full of notebooks. They sit at the quiet tables and study for many hours. They read big textbooks and write on their laptops. I also see old people. They come to read the daily newspapers. They sit in the comfortable armchairs near the window. They enjoy the quiet atmosphere. My main job is helping these people. Sometimes a student walks to my desk and says, "Excuse me, Tom, can you help me find a book about ancient history?" I smile and say, "Of course, follow me, please." We walk together to the history section and I find the book for them. They say, "Thank you so much, Tom. You are very kind." Hearing those words makes me feel very happy inside. Helping people is the best part of my daily life. At 12 o'clock, my morning work is finished. My stomach starts to make a small sound. That means it is time for lunch. I feel happy because I love lunch break. Sarah, do you have lunch at your desk or do you go outside with your coworkers?
Lunch break is my favorite time of the workday, Tom. At exactly 12:30, I close my laptop screen. I stand up and stretch my arms. My body feels a little bit stiff from sitting for 4 hours. I do not like to eat my lunch alone at my desk. Eating at your desk is bad for your mental health, so I always look at my coworker, Alina. I smile and say, "Elena, are you ready for some good food?" She laughs and says, "Yes, Sarah, I am very hungry today." We take our coats and walk outside the big office building. The afternoon sun is very warm and bright. There is a beautiful small park just 2 minutes away from our office. The park has many green trees, soft grass, and comfortable wooden benches. In the middle of the park, there is a beautiful water fountain. The sound of the water is very peaceful. We walk to a small food truck near the park entrance. This food truck makes the best fresh sandwiches in the city. I always buy a healthy chicken sandwich with some green lettuce and tomatoes. Elena buys a salad with fresh cheese. After we get our food, we walk slowly into the park. We find an empty wooden bench near a big oak tree. We sit down comfortably. We eat our lunch very slowly. While we eat, we talk about simple things. We do not talk about our office work. We do not talk about reports or spreadsheets. We talk about our families, our favorite movies, and our weekend plans. Talking to a good friend makes me feel very relaxed. After we finish eating, we stay on the bench for 10 minutes. I close my eyes. I listen to the birds singing in the green trees. I listen to the gentle wind. It feels like a small vacation in the middle of a busy day. At 1:30, our break is finished. We stand up, walk back to the building, and go up the elevator. My mind feels clear and ready for the afternoon tasks. What about you, Tom? Where do you go for your lunch break? Do you stay inside the library?
My lunch break is also a very peaceful experience, Sarah. At 12 o'clock, another librarian comes to take my place at the front desk. Her name is Mary. Mary is a very sweet lady. She smiles and says, "Go enjoy your lunch, Tom. I will look after the library." I say, "Thank you, Mary." I take my small lunchbox from my office. My lunchbox is green. Every evening, I prepare my lunch for the next day. Preparing your own food is very healthy and saves money. Today, I have a very simple meal. I have some brown rice, cooked vegetables, and a red apple. I do not go to a park like you, Sarah. Our library has a special secret place. It's a beautiful rooftop garden on the top of the building. Only the library workers can go there. I take the stairs to the roof, I open the heavy door, and I step outside. The view from the roof is amazing, Sarah. I can see the whole quiet neighborhood. I can see the rooftops of the small houses and the blue sky. There are many beautiful plants and flowers in big pots on the roof. I sit at a small white table under a large umbrella. I open my green lunchbox. I eat my rice and vegetables with a small fork. I enjoy the taste of the fresh food. I do not look at my phone, and I do not read a book. When you work around books all day, sometimes your eyes need a complete rest from words. So I just look at the white clouds in the sky. I watch the clouds move slowly across the blue background. The clouds look like soft cotton. It is very beautiful. After I finish eating my food, I take my red apple. I bite into it. It is very sweet and juicy. Apples give me good vitamins for the afternoon. At 12:45, I walk down the stairs back to my office. I still have 15 minutes before my work starts again. I go to the library kitchen. I make myself a warm cup of green tea. Green tea is very good for digestion and keeps the mind calm. I hold the warm mug in my hands. I feel the warmth on my fingers. I drink the tea slowly, sip by sip. At exactly 1 o'clock, my cup is empty. I wash my mug in the sink. I dry it with a clean towel. I put it away in the cupboard. Then I walk back to the main reading room. I sit on my chair behind the desk. I am ready to welcome the afternoon students with a big, warm smile.
The afternoon moves very quietly, Tom. After my peaceful lunch break, I sit back at my office desk. I look at my task list again. I have 3 more reports to finish before 5 o'clock. I put on my headphones. I do not listen to music this time. I use a special sound. It is the sound of gentle rain. The sound of rain helps my brain focus deeply on the computer screen. I type the numbers carefully. I check every sentence. By 4:45, my task list is completely finished. I feel a great sense of satisfaction inside my heart. I close all the tabs on my computer screen. I click the Shut Down button. The computer screen goes black. I stand up from my office chair. I stretch my legs and my back again. I look out the big window. The sun is starting to go down. The sky is changing color. It is turning into a beautiful mix of orange, pink, and purple. It looks like a giant painting in the sky. I put my laptop inside my black bag. I put my water bottle away. I say goodbye to my coworkers. I say, "Goodbye, Elena. Have a peaceful evening." She smiles and says, "Thank you, Sarah. See you tomorrow morning." I walk out of the office room. I take the elevator down to the first floor. I walk out of the big glass doors into the street. The city looks very different at 5 o'clock, Tom. The street is very crowded now. Everyone is leaving their offices at the same time. Everyone is walking fast to go home to their families. The air feels much cooler now. I walk down the concrete stairs into the subway station again. The station is full of movement and life. I wait on the platform for my train. I see the bright lights of the train coming through the dark tunnel. The train stops, and I step inside. I am ready to relax at home. Tom, how does your workday finish at the quiet library?
My workday finishes at exactly 5 o'clock too, Sarah. The library becomes very quiet around 4:30. Most of the university students pack their heavy bags and leave to eat dinner. The old people close their newspapers and walk home before the sun goes down. At 4:50, I start my closing routine. A good closing routine is very important for a library. First, I walk through the big reading room one last time. I look at all the long wooden tables. Sometimes people leave small pieces of paper or empty plastic bottles on the tables. I pick them up and put them in the recycling bin. I want the library to be perfectly clean for tomorrow morning. Next, I check the chairs. I push every chair neatly under the table. Then I walk to the history section. I make sure no books are hidden in the wrong places. At exactly 5 o'clock, I walk to the main entrance. I push the heavy glass doors closed. I take my big metal keys from my pocket. I turn the key in the lock. Click. The doors are locked. The library is safe for the night. I walk back to my small office behind the front desk. I turn off the big computer. I take my heavy coat from the hook. I put it on, slowly. I grab my green lunchbox and my bag. I turn off the warm lights of the reading room one by one. The library looks so peaceful in the dark, Sarah. The shadows of the big bookshelves look very tall on the walls. I walk out of the back door. I lock it carefully behind me. I step onto the sidewalk. The evening air feels very fresh and cold on my skin. I pull my coat tightly around my body. The yellow bus is already waiting at the bus stop across the street. I walk slowly across the road. I see my friendly driver, Mr. John. He looks at me and says, "Good evening, Tom. Ready to go home?" I smile and say, "Yes, Mr. John. It was a long, beautiful day." I sit in my favorite seat next to the window. The bus starts to move smoothly. I look at the street lights turning on. The city is changing into its night clothes. I feel very calm and content as the bus takes me closer to my warm house.
Coming home after a long day of work is a very beautiful feeling, Tom. My subway train arrives at my station at 5:30. I get off the train and walk up the stairs. The street near my apartment building is very quiet. There are no big office buildings here. There are only small shops and green trees. I walk into my building. I do not take the elevator this time. My apartment is only on the second floor. Walking up the stairs is a nice way to move my body. I stand in front of my wooden door. I take my keys from my bag. I put the key in the lock. I turn it slowly. Click. The door opens. I step inside my home. The air inside my apartment feels warm and cozy. The first thing I do is take off my heavy shoes. I put on my soft, comfortable house slippers. My feet feel so happy now. I walk to my bedroom. I take off my formal office clothes. I put on my favorite pajamas. My pajamas are made of soft cotton. They are very loose and comfortable. Next, I go to the kitchen. I am starting to feel hungry again. I open my refrigerator. I look inside. I see some fresh vegetables, eggs, and a small piece of cheese. I decide to make a very simple dinner. I do not want to cook a heavy meal. Heavy food is bad for your sleep. I take a small knife. I chop some red tomatoes, green cucumbers, and sweet yellow peppers. I put the fresh vegetables into a big white bowl. I add a little bit of olive oil and a small pinch of salt. Next, I break 2 eggs into a small frying pan. I cook the eggs slowly on the stove. The sound of the cooking eggs is very gentle. The kitchen starts to smell wonderful. When the eggs are ready, I put them on a clean plate next to my fresh salad. I take a piece of whole wheat bread. I sit down at my small wooden dining table. I do not turn on the television, Tom. Television screens have too much bright light, and the news can make your mind feel anxious before sleep. Instead, I light a small scented candle on the table. The candle has a soft smell of lavender. Lavender is very famous for relaxation. I eat my dinner very slowly. I chew every piece of food with mindfulness. I enjoy the simple, clean tastes. It feels so good to nourish my body after a busy day in the city. Tom, what do you do when you arrive at your warm house? How do you prepare your evening meal?
Arriving home is my favorite part of the evening, Sarah. My bus ride finishes at 5:32. The bus stops right across the street from my little house. I walk across the asphalt road. I open my small wooden garden gate. As soon as I step into the garden, I hear a small sound behind the front door. It is my dog, Max. He knows my footsteps perfectly. He is waiting for me. I put my metal key into the lock and open the front door. Max immediately jumps up with total joy. He wags his tail so fast. He makes small, happy sounds. I look at him, and all my tiredness from the workday completely goes away. I sit down on the floor near the door. I pat his soft brown fur for 2 minutes. I say, "Hello, Max. Did you miss me today? I am so happy to see you too." Max licks my hand. Having a pet gives you so much pure love. Next, I stand up. I take off my heavy coat and hang it on the wall hook. I remove my outdoor shoes and put on my old, comfortable indoor shoes. I walk to my bedroom to change my clothes. I change into a warm, gray sweatshirt and loose sweatpants. Now my body feels completely relaxed. I walk to the kitchen to prepare dinner for Max and for myself. First, I feed Max. I open a small can of dog food. I put it in his shiny metal bowl. Max eats his food very fast. He is very happy. While Max is eating, I look at my own kitchen counter. I love hot food in the evening, Sarah. It makes my stomach feel warm and satisfied. Tonight, I decide to make a warm vegetable soup. Soup is very easy to digest and very healthy. I take a big metal pot. I put some fresh water inside. I chop some yellow potatoes, orange carrots, and green celery into small pieces. I put all the vegetables into the pot. I turn on the stove. The water starts to boil slowly. Small bubbles come to the top. I add a little bit of black pepper and some fresh herbs from my garden. I let the soup cook for 20 minutes. The warm steam comes out of the pot. It fills the whole kitchen with a cozy, delicious smell. I take a deep breath. The smell makes me feel so safe and content. When the soup is finished, I pour it into a large ceramic bowl. I take a spoon. I sit down on my comfortable sofa in the living room. Max comes and sits on the floor near my feet. The house is perfectly quiet. I do not turn on any bright lights. I use a small, warm lamp next to the sofa. The light is very soft. I eat my hot soup slowly, spoonful by spoonful. I feel the warmth moving down into my body. It feels like a warm hug from the inside.
After a warm dinner, the night becomes very still, Tom. It is 8:30 in the evening. This is my favorite time to completely relax my mind. I walk back to the kitchen. I wash my dinner plate and my salad bowl. I use warm water and sweet-smelling soap. Cleaning the dishes by hand is a very peaceful activity. It helps me focus on the present moment. After the kitchen is perfectly clean, I turn off the kitchen lights. I walk into my small living room. I do not touch my phone or my computer now. The blue light from screens tells your brain that it is morning, and that makes it very hard to fall asleep later. So I keep all my screens in another room. Instead, I walk to my bookshelf. I choose a physical book. I love old books with thick paper pages. Tonight, I choose a book of beautiful stories about nature and quiet forests. I sit down on my soft armchair. I put a warm wool blanket over my legs. I open the book slowly. The sound of turning the pages is very gentle and crisp in the quiet apartment. I read the words very slowly. I do not hurry. Reading a book helps my imagination grow, and it takes my mind away from the stress of the city. I read for about 30 minutes. By 9 o'clock, my eyes start to feel a little bit heavy. That is a good sign. It means my body is ready for sleep. I close my book and put it back on the shelf. I blow out my lavender candle. The small flame disappears, and a little bit of smoke moves into the air. Next, I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth one more time. I wash my face with warm water. Warm water relaxes the muscles in your face. I look in the mirror and give myself a peaceful smile. Then I walk into my dark bedroom. I pull back the white sheets of my bed. The bed looks so soft and inviting. I lie down on my back. I pull the warm blanket up to my chin. I close my eyes. I just listen to the silence of my room. Tom, how do you spend your quiet hours before bed? What is your bedtime routine?
My evening relaxation routine is very similar to yours, Sarah. After I finish my hot vegetable soup, I stand up from the sofa. I take my bowl and my spoon to the kitchen sink. I wash them quickly and put them away. Then I check on my dog, Max. Max is already very sleepy. He walks slowly to his small, soft dog bed in the corner of the living room. He circles around 2 times, lies down, and lets out a big, happy dog sigh. I smile at him and say, "Good night, Max. Sleep well, my friend." Next, I walk to my bedroom. I like to do a very simple relaxation exercise before bed. I sit cross-legged on the floor on a soft mat. I close my eyes. I put my hands on my knees. I do not think about my work at the library. I do not think about tomorrow's tasks. I just focus on my breathing. I breathe in through my nose very slowly. I count to 4 in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I hold my breath for 2 seconds. Finally, I breathe out through my mouth very gently. I count to 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do this breathing exercise 10 times. It's amazing, Sarah. This simple exercise removes all the tension from my shoulders and my neck. It makes my heart beat slowly and peacefully. After my breathing exercise, I stand up. I walk to the window. I look outside at the dark night. The street lights are shining like small yellow stars. The neighborhood is completely asleep. There are no cars and no loud noises. The world is at peace. I close the thick curtains to keep the room dark and warm. Then I walk to my bed. I turn off the small lamp on my nightstand. The room becomes completely dark. I climb into my warm bed. My pillow feels so soft under my head. I pull my heavy blanket over my shoulders. I take one last deep breath of the cool, clean air. My body feels heavy and relaxed.
I'm ready to drift away into beautiful, sweet dreams.
When you lie down in the dark, Tom, the world changes. The busy energy of the daytime disappears completely. Your bedroom becomes a safe harbor. I look at the dark ceiling of my room. I do not feel lonely. I feel protected. I like to think about my day one more time before my mind drifts away. I think about the warm morning sun coming through my window. I think about the taste of my delicious breakfast. I think about the nice words my coworker Elena said to me during our lunch break in the park. I think about the beautiful orange and purple sunset I saw from the subway station. All these small moments are like precious pearls. When you collect them at the end of the day, you realize that your life is beautiful. You realize that you have many things to be grateful for. Gratitude is the best medicine for a peaceful mind, Tom. It clears away all the negative thoughts. It makes your heart feel light and warm. If you had a difficult day, or if you made a mistake at work, it does not matter now. The day is finished. It is in the past. You cannot change it, so you must let it go. Tonight is for resting. Tonight is for healing. Your brain needs this quiet time to process everything you learned today. While you are sleeping, your mind will become stronger. Your English vocabulary will stay deep inside your memory. What are you thinking about right now, Tom, as you lie in your dark room?
I am thinking about the beauty of simplicity, Sarah. My room is very dark and quiet too. I can hear the gentle breathing of my dog Max from his little bed. His breathing has a very steady, soft rhythm. It sounds like a slow clock. It is very comforting. I feel very grateful for my quiet house. I feel grateful for my job at the library, where I can help people find knowledge every day. I think about the friendly smile of my bus driver, Mr. John. I think about the delicious, warm vegetable soup I ate on my sofa. Life does not need to be complicated to be happy, Sarah. When we learn to love the simple things, we find true peace. We do not need to be perfect. We do not need to hurry. Everything in nature has its own time. The trees do not hurry to grow. The stars do not hurry to shine. They just exist beautifully. Tonight, we are like nature. We are just resting. We are letting our bodies recharge. I look at the darkness and I feel a deep sense of safety. My bed feels like a warm cloud. My muscles are completely loose. My hands are relaxed. My feet are heavy and warm. I feel like I am floating on a quiet, calm river. The river is moving slowly into the world of dreams. There is no stress there. There are no problems to solve. There is only soft, deep rest. My mind is ready to close its doors for the night, Sarah. I am ready to welcome the beautiful silence.
Floating into the world of dreams is a wonderful transition, Tom. Our long journey through daily life is now complete. We have walked through the morning routine, the busy hours of work, the relaxing afternoon breaks, and the cozy moments of evening comfort. We hope that our simple words and our slow rhythm have brought peace to your heart tonight. Learning English does not have to be stressful or difficult. You can learn while you relax. You can learn while your body prepares for rest. Your brain is an amazing tool. It listens to our voices, and it saves the words naturally. Now, as our podcast comes to its final moments, we want to say a huge thank you to our amazing family of listeners. Thank you for your deep dedication. Thank you for choosing to learn with us. If our voices helped you feel calm and happy tonight, please take a small, quiet moment tomorrow morning to support us. Click the subscribe button on our channel. Click the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. And please give this video a big like. Your beautiful support means everything to us. It helps us keep creating these peaceful lessons for you. Tom, do you have our final daily mission for our friends before they fall into a deep sleep?
Yes, Sarah. I have a very simple and beautiful mission for our lovely family. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up fresh and full of energy, please come back to this video. Open the comments section and answer our question for today. Our question is very simple. What is your favorite part of your daily routine? Is it the quiet morning coffee, the journey to your work, or the warm dinner at home? Write your answer using simple English words. We read every single comment, and we promise to reply to your words with love and encouragement. Writing your thoughts down is a powerful way to practice your English. But for now, do not think about writing. Do not think about learning. The time for effort is over. The night is full of quiet magic. Let go of all your worries about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. You are safe in your warm bed. Your room is a sanctuary of peace. The world outside is dark and silent. Listen to the quietness around you. Feel the heavy comfort of your blanket. Let your eyes close completely. Let your breath become slow and steady. Deep sleep is waiting for you.
Sleep well, my dear friends. Have the most beautiful, sweet dreams. We are so proud of your hard work. We will see you in our next peaceful lesson. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Sarah, and good night to our wonderful family. Sleep peacefully, always believe in yourself, and goodbye for now.